Before I started to work with Sandra, I would say my biggest concern or fear about signing up to do a whole program was the part about having all my workouts programmed and having to track my food. I would have to say I was worried that it would feel overwhelming, that it would be too much for me with my busy job somehow, or just overwhelming. And after I began working with Sandra, it became clear that I had nothing to worry about in that regard. She carefully planned everything, tailored it to my goals and my life situation. She's very understanding and supportive about, all the different little things I had going on with my life. When I had a couple medical procedures, she was very helpful with that, and still trying to provide some value for me and some support, which I really appreciated. I also am vegetarian, and she was more than accommodating with that, more than supportive. She had meal plans, all sorts of resources. And I would say before signing up to work with Sandra, I had gained weight over the course of about 3 years, 2-3 years, weight that I didn't feel comfortable with. And, it was a combination, I think, of grief and also my work situation being very stressful. And next thing I knew, I was the heaviest I had ever been. And I endeavored to, do the things that I'd always done. Oh, let me try this, let me try that, and just kind of doing the best I could with what I knew. And, I had a small amount of luck with that, of success, but it was, I just lost a little bit of weight and I just totally hit a wall. I couldn't move the needle. I couldn't get over that. And I wasn't sure what the problem was. I felt like I had so much knowledge about nutrition and I had a fitness background. I just was kind of at a loss for how to solve that problem. And so, I think like a lot of people, I felt like there was something wrong with me, that I wasn't able to crack the code on this. I wasn't able to figure it out. And I just felt really uncomfortable in my body, and I just didn't know what to do about it. But I knew something needed to change. And fortuitously, I connected with Sandra online, and I'm so thankful that we connected because she's exactly what I needed to start moving the needle and meeting my goals. And my goals were getting my food on track, getting more into a groove with fitness again, building up my running routine again, learning more moves in the gym, expanding my knowledge in that regard, and of course losing some weight and feeling more comfortable in my body. And so okay, let's see. So working with Sandra, she carefully tailored the program to my goals and to my life, not just in the beginning, but throughout the process. She was checking in with me to make sure we were on track. The things we're doing were still consistent with what my goals were. So we had different phases. We had a recomposition phase, just building up my stamina. We had and so she crafted the schedule where I was establishing habits, and then those habits would start building off of each other. And I just loved how she did that. And she was very thoughtful with how she built things up. So it wasn't like some extreme situation where we're going from 0 to 100 in the course of a week. And so I really appreciated that. It was so helpful for me, especially with having a busy lifestyle. And a lot of this stuff was truly new to me in terms of like tracking my food, following a schedule that someone else set for me for working out, doing new moves. A lot of this stuff was new for me, and the way she crafted it was very helpful in making it feel manageable, A, and B, it also was making it feel more sustainable, just making changes slowly and incrementally, and understanding the rationale behind these different steps before we started, as we were building them up. And so it gave me time to kind of mull over things, build some new habits, and what felt challenging in the beginning, I would notice later, felt super easy later. Thank goodness, because I wasn't sure it would ever feel easy. And I found that really helpful. And she was carefully tailoring everything, not just with workouts, but also with food. And I'm vegetarian, and I'm, truth be told, I'm a little picky too. So, there's certain things I'm not interested in doing. And she was very understanding. She's very helpful, very supportive. She had so many resources. I was very thankful for that. And, even though I'm not a super big recipe person, it was helpful knowing that they were there, and that there were, I could also look at them for inspiration about, let me try getting some edamame into the mix, or, I forgot about tempeh. Let me get that back in the mix. That was very helpful. And working with her, I just want to add, it was really eye-opening. In the process, I was able to kind of notice some of my blind spots and where I was kind of going awry. I might have had some suspicions that, maybe I shouldn't eat out as much, but when I started tracking and, talking with her, it was just so obvious that it was really holding me back from my goals, the amount of eating out I did, and also the items that I was getting, the foods I was getting. Just makes it a little bit trickier. But it was still doable. There was nothing forbidden. I really appreciated that aspect as well. Nothing was like villainized. This isn't like a low carb crash diet situation. This is all sustainable. And she was, she knows that everyone has very different taste preferences and food preferences and things going on. So it just makes sense to have that be flexible. And I really appreciated that aspect. And then I found it very helpful having her there to help me work through obstacles versus me just being alone with my thoughts and maybe rationalizing things. That was very helpful, just someone who's there in a non-judgmental way, and supportive and wanting to help you kind of reach your goals, who can be more neutral about situations, a neutral third party to guide you in the right direction. And I would say working with Sandra, my mindset has really improved. It's become more positive and solution oriented. Yes, with fitness and with food, but I also find that it's having a spillover effect in the other parts of my life, which is always very welcomed, and fun and exciting. And having worked with her and actually achieved the goals I set out to achieve, I just feel more empowered to be doing that and other things, especially where, here, I wasn't so sure that I would be able to kind of get to this point. I wasn't super sure. I mean, I had total faith that something would improve, but I just didn't realize I would really get there. And it was nice having the accountability, working with Sandra, and also just all the check-ins. It was very helpful in pushing me on the right track, getting me out of my comfort zone, making me do things I normally wouldn't do, packing a lunch or making foods I normally wouldn't eat or I hadn't eaten in so many years. I needed to get a workout in. I never work out late, but there I was at 10 o'clock at night getting my workout in my gym, which is a safe gym to be working out at that late. And I think in those moments, it was a nice little push for me to remind me that this goal matters to me, and all the things related to it with my health and feeling comfortable in my body. They were important enough to me to make that extra effort, and do things I wasn't used to doing. And that cliche that they say about, nothing changing if nothing changes really really rings true for me in this situation, in this process. I really need to make changes, and having Sandra guide me through and support me in this whole process has been just so helpful for me. Feeling like someone's in my court, someone who's professional, someone who knows about it, who knows what she's doing. She's seen different things play out, and it was nice having someone there. And she, I felt like she was on my team. I never felt like she was looking down at me like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't know that. It was just, she let me have my own realizations, and she was also, supportive and guiding, and helped me notice things and learn things that I just didn't really understand or know about. Especially in this realm of like weight loss or fitness. I know terms, I've heard things, but I really wasn't sure how this all fit together prior to working with Sandra. And I would say now, in addition to my mindset being better, I'm physically so much stronger. I go to the gym and I feel more confident, not because of because I look different right now, but because I actually know how to do these different moves, and how to have good form. And I'm feeling stronger. My running stamina and endurance has improved considerably. I'd love to do a race in the future, and I feel like I now have this like wonderful foundation to start doing that training afterwards. And I'm just in such a better place physically in terms of my fitness. And of course, I did lose weight as well, and I picked a number, as a goal number, just not arbitrarily, but because I had been that weight for a long time before, and I felt comfortable in my body at that weight, and I actually got to that weight. And so I'm at a place where, that the weight's no longer something that's an issue for me. Now it's just a matter of getting stronger and improving my other, the other metrics of my fitness, stamina and endurance and that sort of thing. I also am able to fit into most of my clothes again, which is a relief that I don't have to buy a whole new wardrobe. And I had some cute, fun clothes that I'd worn for many years that I can now wear again. And I still haven't fully accepted or recognized that I'm smaller now, so I haven't been wearing them that much. But I've started to, and I'm excited to pull those old clothes out again and enjoy those. And also, most importantly, of all these goals that I've met, I would say the most important for me is that I feel comfortable in my body again. And there's just no, there's no price tag on that. That's just, you're in your body 24 hours a day, assuming everything goes to plan. And so, that's just the best part of where I've come in this process. And now I also really close with that is just, in addition to feeling good in my body, is just now feeling like I have tools and knowledge where moving forward, I have, some resources and some knowledge to kind of move me, get me back on track if I'm ever in a place where, things are taking a turn. It's okay if it happens, but I'll just feel so much more confident solving that issue in the future on my own, and feeling like I'm actually capable of figuring that out and kind of getting myself to a place where I want to be. And that's exciting. I've learned so much through this process over the course of several months. I'm so glad that the program was as long as it was, because I needed that time with all my life things going on, and also just the fact that we were doing very specific things each step along the way. I never felt like we were wasting time. Things weren't happening. I trusted the process, especially in the beginning where, you're doing a lot of workouts and maybe you don't see things, or the scale isn't doing anything. But I'm so glad I trusted the process, because everything truly was building. And I needed that time to kind of synthesize and integrate the things that I was learning working with Sandra into my everyday life. I felt like she did an excellent job of providing me with knowledge and resources, and then letting me figure out how to kind of fit that into my life and make it work, and also kind of troubleshoot when need be, and getting back on track, and not viewing setbacks as, oh, there's something wrong with you, or how could you. It was more like a learning moment, and just having that growth mindset, I find that very helpful in with coaching here. So it was helpful in moving the needle. And I'm very glad I worked with Sandra, and I feel like I'm in such a better place than I was on day one, and I can't thank her enough for all she's done for me, and how she's helped me in this whole process. I'm very grateful.